Hey guys, happy Monday. It is Monday. It's like dinner time. I was waiting for my Witch's Moon unboxing video to upload, which I started like last night. Yeah. Not sure what happened. I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, it's a nice, rainy morning. I'll finish writing down my notes for the video for today. And I will do the video for just some more like tarot, understanding for tarot cards, like kind of learning how to read them, interpreting the cards. Obviously, whatever doesn't resonate with you, leave it, so to speak. I've read a couple of different books, different ways of interpreting the cards. I've watched a couple of different videos of different ways of interpreting the cards and kind of learning them, because everybody learns differently. So this is kind of what's helped me, as I still very much think of myself as a novice, like just a beginner. Sorry, I have music playing in the background, which I have absolutely no rights to. So let's just put that disclaimer out there. Alrighty. So a lot of tarot decks will be from the, sorry, I'm just gonna grab it. The RWS, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's like the traditional cards, which I do have a set here. Sorry guys, I don't have a lot of space here, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned in previous videos. So I kind of put things on my bed as I do my readings. For me personally, and a few other witches that I know, I personally recommend. Wow, I can't speak today. For everybody to have like the traditional decks, which is like the Rider-Waite-Smith. Wow. Maybe I should have did a reading for myself today. So it's the traditional, deck that I'm sure everybody at some point in their life has seen somewhere. Depending, I kind of let my intuition kind of guide me as to which deck I'm going to be working with for when I'm doing a reading for someone else. So I have my deck that I do my reading for myself every day. Sometimes I'll use that deck actually to do a reading for someone else. But I've got a variety of different tarot decks here, which I have a previous video of all the decks that I do have right now. The only newest one that I had added to the deck was the Witch's Tarot, which is the one that I currently work with, and I love it to death. But I believe everybody should have one of these decks in their collection. Sometimes I will do readings outside of my home using the traditional cards. Like I said, it depends. I kind of follow my intuition. as to which deck I feel called and pulled to doing. So yes, I am in my pajama top. It is my day off work. I'm not on here for a beauty contest or any kind of status quo thing. I am who I am. I'm on here as I am. If I feel like dressing up and doing makeup, I do it. If I don't feel like it, I don't do it. So today, it was raining, it's sunny now, and it was a pajama day. So yes, I am in my pajama top. Let's just get that out of the way. I kind of briefly touched a little bit on tarot cards in one of my videos, just like, because I was showing like all of the decks that I have, and I kind of did, you know, a brief kind of skim through of some stuff. So this one I actually just want to specifically talk about the cards themselves. So I will be reading from my notes. Just lately I have a very forgetful mind. It's that whole perimenopause, I believe they call it. I'm in like premenopause right now. Yes, I am old enough to be in premenopause. Don't let the youngness looks fool you. I get asked that all the time. You don't look old enough to be going through that. I am. I just have very good genetics and I take care of myself. Like I said, I am currently working with this deck. I actually really love this book. She really describes everything in the cards, like symbols, everything, and some of the symbols in there, because that was the reason why I had the two decks out. A lot of the symbols in her deck, because obviously her deck is more geared towards witches, and I am a practicing witch. But a lot of the symbolism is also in the traditional cards, which I thought was really neat. So a lot of her meanings for her symbols are universal, so to speak. And also there's some videos that I had watched just to kind of, you know, clarify everything, and it is so. So I'll start with the first, which I'm pretty sure I kind of skimmed through it, but like I said, this video is specifically for tarot. There's a numerology along with tarot. So like 1 to 3s is the seeds, 4 to 6 is the seedling, 7 to 8 is the tree, and then obviously 10 being the fruitation and the fruit of the tree and that kind of thing, right? You know, so in the beginning stages, it's the conception, something is conceived and, you know, that kind of thing. And then the second stage, you know, 4 to 6, it's the seedling. So actualization, you know, something is manifesting and things are adjusting and, you know, that kind of thing. And then the third stage, which is the tree, you know, 7 to 9, expansion, you know, things are developing and, you know, really starting to show, you know, your work is really starting to show and, you know, you're getting there and you're climbing, right? And then obviously 10 is fruitation. So, you know, transition, you know, things have successfully developed and, you know, you'll move forward and, you know, kind of start reaping what you've, you know, what you've put out there, you know. So like I said, 1 is the beginning, you know, and then, you know, so forth. There's also an elemental correspondence to the tarot cards. Swords is represented by air, the element of air. So its direction is east. The time of day is dawn. So each suit has a elemental aspect to it, so like a direction. It also has the time of day. It also has the season. It also has like a timing, so like a day, a week, you know, months, years, you know, each one is specific, which I have in my other book here. I don't like to make mistakes, and sometimes when I'm talking or anything like that, I'll like lose my train of thought of what I was saying, and then it won't be till like after, and I'll be like, ah, crap, you know, I forgot about, you know, this and that and whatever. So yeah, so like I was saying, each element has a season, time of day, and wheel of year, which is the season. It'll have a moon phase, life stage, astrological signs. Like there's a lot that is interpreted in with tarot. I apologize for the lighting, guys. It's like 5 to 6, and I didn't realize that my phone needed charging, so I have my phone plugged in right now to kind of charge while I'm doing the video, so I don't have my ring light on. Let me see my little moonlight. Gives a little bit of a glow. So yeah, so air, it represents swords. It's like the to know. So the direction obviously is east. Time of day is dawn. The season is spring, which is, you know, new growth and beginnings. Wheel of the year is in bulk. The spring equinox. Moon phase, or moon phases, is the new moon and a waxing moon. Life stage or role is childhood. Astrological signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Now swords, because it sorry, just give me a sec. All right, so swords represent months, and wands represents days, and pentacles represent years. And the cups represents weeks. So when you're doing a reading, you know, you kind of look in. So if you predominantly have more cups, then, you know, it's weeks. You know, it's dealing in weeks. So this is something that you can see, you know, coming in, or manifesting, or, you know, whatever the situation is coming in over, you know, the next few weeks, you know, because it deals with weeks. And then, you know, when it deals with days, well then, you know, same thing, and then months, and then years kind of thing, right? Then we have Wands, which represents fire, which is south. Time of day is noon. Moon phase is first quarter. Water is obviously cups, which is west. Time of day is twilight. Moon phase is full moon. Pentacles is earth. So it's north is its direction. Moon phase, waning, and dark moon. So I am going to talk about some of the things that each of the suits, you know, kind of represent for the minor arcanas. So cups, some cards may have hearts, depending on what type of cards you have. It's hearts. There's another one. I can't think of it. So it's represented by water, right? Which is west, which water represents emotions, intuition, creativity, relationships, reflection, nutrients, you know, your psychic ability and, you know, magic, things like that, right? Pentacles, some cards they're called discs. There's another deck, it's called something else, and I can't think of it. It's earth, so their direction is north, right? So they deal with like earthy plan, practical concerns like resources, the body, material goods, and property, money, jobs, you know, things like that, right? And then swords is air, which is east, you know, wind, which air is power of the mind, intellect, rational and logical thinking, analysts or analyzing, and reasoning, communication. So anything that kind of deals with up here is for the swords. Wands, fire, which is south, self-expression, inspiration, personal power, free will, projects, career, job-related issues, you know, things like that. So that's kind of a bit of there. So just because we were already talking about the suits, so I won't go in right away with the major arcana. We'll finish off with the minor arcanas. So like I was saying, suit of cups is the water element, which is like emotions, heart center, imagination, your emotions in the situation, your emotional state in the situation, over emotional experience, you know, feeling loved or on love, like depending on what the situation is. So Ace of Cups, sorry, somebody was coming upstairs. I was seeing if somebody was coming into my room because I forgot to let everybody know in the house that I was filming. So when you look at the card, it has like the hand kind of coming out of nowhere, like out of the air, so to speak, right? Which is meaning spirit, you know, the spirits, you know, or your spirit guides, ancestors, you know, that kind of thing, is offering you something. It can also be a birth of expansion of life. Expansion of the imagination, offering something of love, something in your life, offering some type of love, my apologies, something in your life, you know, something that could be, you know, tugging, you know, bringing out those heartfelt kind of feelings, you know, that'll like activate that heart chakra. You know, it doesn't have to be a romantic love. It could be friendship. It could be a new love for like a new hobby, or, you know, a new creative project. Like it could be a new love for something else that doesn't necessarily have to be like in love with somebody, or, you know, it can be a situation, you know, that hurts your feelings as well, right? Because we're dealing with emotions, right? So it's not necessarily positive emotions. It could be negative emotions, right? Which obviously would tug, you know, kind of pull on your heartstrings, you know, like make your heart kind of react, right? So in the reader, right, well, the RWS, we'll just short form it, there's doves in them. So the dove symbol of spirit, the divine, of forces on the other side, you know, which is dropping inside the cup, showing that the universe is going to be offering you something, some type of love or emotional experience. That's good. You know, so the spirit world is trying to give you something, you know, so you need to kind of like pay attention and just kind of like take it in and, you know, filter it through and figure out what it is that the universe is trying to give you, you know, even if it's something negative, you know, some, you know, negative things will happen for a reason. And I know a lot of people don't like hearing that and they think it's like a cliche or whatever. Especially if you just continuously keep having bad things happen. They're continuously happening to you for a reason, you know, which 9 out of 10, the reason is more than likely because you're not learning from your past mistakes, which is why you keep repeating them, you know, which is why you keep drawing in that type of energy, or, you know, and you're not listening to the spirits that are trying to tell you, like, hey, do you not remember we went down this journey before? We went down this path before. Do you not remember the outcome? Like, you're about to repeat it. Pay attention. So 2 of Cups, which most of the cards are pretty pretty much the same. It's usually two people exchanging some kind of exchange, you know, that's like positive and, you know, kind of loving. Let me see if I can find one in here. So, and I mean, I pretty much looked in most of my cards, and the Two of Cups are all pretty much the same. Like, it's always two people, well, obviously, right? But it's always some type of a positive, kind of like engaging type of picture. Let me see if I can just... So this is, you know, the Two of Cups in the deck that I generally work with every day. So, I mean, you see, you know, the exchange of, you know, energy. And for this one, there's a hand fasting. As I said, this one is, it's the Witch's Tarot. So everything is, there's a lot of like witchy feel to these cards, as that's why they're called that. So hand fasting is, you know, like the pagan way for marriage, right? And I will show you the traditional cards just so you can kind of see. Oop, nope, that's my oracle deck. Cool. You'll see what I mean. Like, every deck, the Two of Cups, it's always two people, you know, engaging, you know, kind of gazing, or, you know, holding hands. Let's see. You know, so here's Two of Cups here, you know, so it's the exchange, right? It's two people. So it's that exchange, right? You could be meeting someone, could be something for romantic, like a romantic love. It can be like a really, really good friendship. You know, you're going to meet somebody new, or you have met somebody new, and the cards are telling you like, hey, this is a really good relationship. Like, you guys are going to have a really good relationship. And, you know, so some type of an exchange that you will be having with someone that will you know, kind of affect your heart chakra, you know, your heart center. So with the reader right, there's when I showed you, there was like wings, which is communication, right? Because it's wings represents air, which air represents communication. So there's, you know, communication is involved, you know, with, you know, whatever the situation is. Some type of negotiation, situation, contracts, seeing how they can offer themselves, or then services, you know, equality, partnership, reconciliation. So I mean, you know, sometimes it could be you reconciling with, you know, an old friend or a family member, you know what I mean? Something like that. Three of Cups, you know, they're usually like sharing of like fruit, or, you know, sharing, and, you know, everybody's together. Sometimes it's, I think my deck, it's like three women dancing. I just seen it in here too. I believe it was like three women dancing. Let's see, yeah. So see here, they're exchanging drinks, and I believe the reader right, they're exchanging like fruit or something. So yeah, so it's you know, you're sharing the fruits of your labor, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a sharing card, you know? Like reaping all the benefits and all your hard work, you know, that kind of thing, right? Of, you know, what you planted, and, you know, your growth and your success, and, you know, all that creativity that you had, and, you know, to put things in motion and to manifest things, like you're, you know, you're reaping all of that in now, you know, and you're sharing it, you know. It's also psychic growth, healing bonds, celebration, stuff like that, right? So the Four of Cups, it's not the greatest. It's you know, the current, which is the person that you're doing the reading for, right? Or if it's, you know, for you, like yourself, your own personal reading, it can be like you're unhappy with your current situation, unhappy with their own life. Cups are full, you know, but not satisfied, you know, like you're not, yes, you know, you have a job, yes, you have a roof over your head, yes, you have money, yes, you have this, yes, you have that, but you're not happy with it all, like you're not satisfied, like there's still something missing, you know. You know, you could be bored. It could just be, speaking of boredom, yes, you have all of this, but now what? You know, now I'm bored. You know, you're not content with it. You know, the spirit, or the hen, you know, or the divine, or the universe, you know, spirit guides, your ancestors, you know, whichever, trying to offer you something else. To set, you know, his, you know, like to put that fire under your ass, so to speak. Excuse the language. You know, to kind of get those creative juices going, and, you know, that kind of thing. Because if you look at the cards, I believe mine, they show the Three Cups, and I believe it's a mermaid that's like offering, you know, that other cup, like, hey, you know, they're offering you something, you know, just to bring back that passion, you know, to bring the passion back in, and, You know, and you know, that's not working either. Like, you're not seeing it, you know, you're not paying attention to it. It's just, you know, you're so stuck. You know what I mean? Can represent someone not being aware of everything, you know, that they have, not being grateful for their situation. There isn't anything wrong. It's just, you know, the person is just unhappy. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything wrong. You know, someone who's not thankful or grateful, you know, for their situation. You know, it's also like a, hey, you know, snap out of it. You know, like, it's time for you to get out of that, you know, funk, you know, that you're in, you know. It's time for a change, you know, like, change things up, you know, change the adventure. Opportunity awaits you, you know, stop moving around the house and, you know, oh, poor me, and, well, do something about it, you know. Be positive, you know. And, you know, assistance could be, you know, coming from an unexpected place, you know. And then, like I said, you know, it could also mean like self-pity, you know, self-indulgence, depression, you know, if the card's like in reverse. If you do reversals, some people do reversals, some people don't. I don't not do them. It really depends. It really depends on the question. It really depends on the situation, whether I do actually read the reversal or not. I don't always read the reversals. I kind of let my intuition depict whether, okay, yeah. So in this situation, this, you know, question or this reading, we're going to read the reversal, you know, because it fits. Do you know what I mean? So 5 of Cups is loss. You know, it could be you faced a loss, lost sight of everything, you know, that this person still has, you know, that is good, you know, in life, and that they still have, you know, with them. And then also obviously acknowledging the loss of, you know, whatever it is. Acknowledging that you're hurt, and not all is lost, you know, like, we can learn from this situation that happened. Yes, it was a loss, or yes, it's loss. Yes, it's hurtful, and, you know, your heart is aching, and, but what can we learn from the situation? Like, what can we take from the situation and move forward? Do you know what I mean? You know, your journey is not complete either. You know, there's more on the other side, you know, more at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. You know, you got to cross that bridge. You know, you got to pick yourself up and, you know, put one foot in front of the other, you know, one step at a time, as they say. And eventually, you know, you'll get up to that bridge, and eventually you'll start crossing that bridge, and, you know, you'll get halfway on that bridge, and you'll kind of start feeling and seeing, you know, the other side of everything. And then you'll continue down that bridge, and then you'll cross it, and then you'll be like, oh my God, yes, you know, this happened to me. Yes, you know, this, you know, kind of put me down or beat me down, so to speak. But hey, you know what? I picked myself back up. I learned something from that whole situation, that whole loss. I learned something, and I put one foot in front of the other, and I moved forward, and I crossed that bridge, and I took that loss and what I learned from that loss with me, but I left the hurt and everything else behind. You know, I took what I learned that can help me continue to move forward. Do you know what I'm getting at? It can also be like dissatisfaction, disappointment, you know, moping, moodiness, melodrama, you know, wanting things you can't have or that will not benefit you in the long term, right? So I apologize, you're gonna hear my son in the background. He's playing a video game with his little buddies there. So you know how boys are. He's 11, so they get pretty heated when they're playing their games. So again, right, we're dealing with water, you know. Just allow the element of water to kind of, you know, wash away, you know, wash away your troubles. Just wash away, you know, all of that hurt, and just let it cleanse you, you know. And then, like I said, it could be a loss, remorse, you know, minor depression, sadness, if it's reversed. Then we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is, you know, it's happy, you know, happy memories, you know, old friends, you know, your childhood, you know, childhood and family and school and reunions, and just let your imagination and, you know, creativeness just kind of run wild, you know. It's like the, you know, like little kids, you know, like they believe in magic, you know, magic is real. It's not till we get older where we're like, ugh, you know, that's, well, some people, oh, that's not real. But for the most part, most adults kind of believe that, right? But it's that child-like energy, you know. It's the innocent and the unconditional love, happiness, playfulness, you know, that kids have, you know, because they haven't, you know, they haven't experienced life yet. You know, they haven't been beaten down by life. Do you know what I mean? Where you start losing that, you know. It's the nostalgic times, you know, like, oh my God, you know, I remember when I was a kid. Like, it's that type of feeling, you know. On the flip side, in the reverse, you know, it can also be, you know, unhappy memories, feeling sad over an ended relationship, losing your joy and magic, and, you know, the unhappy part of it, if, you know, the card is in reversed. Seven of Cups, it could be read as option or options, you know, like you have an option or you have different options out there, you know, opportunity, illusion, you know, situations, you know, they're going to manifest, you know, around you, or, you know, whoever the person that you're doing the reading for. And I mean, you're going to have to choose which one you want. it all comes down to choice. Like you have to make a choice. It's like a choice card, right? But it's also a warning too, like, don't be fooled by the illusions though. You know what I mean? So make sure the choice that you're making, you know, it's going to be beneficial to you. Sorry, I'm just going to reposition myself here. My hip's going to sleep. It's going to benefit you long term, right? And it's not like an illusion that you're following, you know, or choosing, so to speak. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is, you know, moving on with your life, leaving the past behind you, setting healthy boundaries. You know, this is a person walking away from a situation or walking away from another person, you know, that they loved or enjoyed time with, right? So it's time to move on, you know, to move on and away from that relationship or that person, you know, that kind of thing. You know, they know that they loved, you know, they loved it, or they loved the person, but it's time to move on, which, I mean, we all know is hard, right? Especially when you still love, you know, that person, or, you know, that situation was, it, you know, you were so used to that situation, but now it's like, okay, you know, we've been stuck here for way too long. It's time to move along now, you know? You know, you don't know what's next. But, you know, have faith, you know, that you know, that little spark, you know, that's in the dark, you know, it's night, it's dark, you know, but, you know, you see that little flicker, you know, of a light, right? It's sometimes that's all we need, or that's all they need, is just to see that little light at the end, to where, you know, they know where they need to move forward, you know. I have watched a couple of videos, and it's funny because I never made the connection, because it's only come up a few times for me when I've done a couple of readings for people, and then I was watching one video in particular, and this person actually refers to this card as the breakup card. Abandoning success, risk of making a bad decision if the card is reversed, right? But yeah, this person kind of says, you know, she calls it the breakup card. Just if she's doing a reading for love and the Eight of Cups happens to pop up, she's like, you know. And I never really, well, I've never labeled any of my cards as anything, really. But then I thought of it, and the couple of people that I did the reading for, it was a relationship reading, and the Eight of Cups actually popped up in the card, which, I mean, obviously I know the meaning of the card, and you know, so I kind of tell them, like, you know, maybe it's time for you to kind of reevaluate you know, the situation that you're in and the relationship and things like that, right? But I never like named it the breakup card. So I kind of like I like the name of it. So Nine of Cups, it's, you know, hospitality, community, and, you know, graciousness, and gatherings and festivals, and you know, a wish will be granted. You know, if something that you've put out in the universe, you know, if there's a wish that you put out in the universe, or, you know, anything like that, like, it's going to be granted. Enjoyable celebrations with family, you know, your coven, if you're a part of a coven, friends, you know, like I said, wishes fulfilled, you know, you're content. On the not the greatest aspect of it, smugness, false pride, you're not as popular as you think you are, you know, unfriendliness. So that's kind of like the opposite end of the card as well. 10 of Cups, which is like completion, right? Because you're at the end. It's, you know, love, imagination, fulfillment, joy, good humor, happy family, good home life, comfort, joy, friendship, you know, happy coven if you're a part of a coven, being a part of, you know, a magical community, which I am a part of a magical community, and I am forever grateful and will always hold gratitude for being able to be a part of a magical community. Like I said, it's your completion of your journey, of your path. It's a joyous card, you know, love, achievement, of all your dreams. You will get to a place, you know, of peace and harmony. I am going to plug my ring light in, guys, just because it's getting to be a little dark. Looks like it may rain again, so I can't see my notes here, so hopefully my phone is at least charged enough so I can get through this video. Alrighty, give me 1 sec while I adjust the light. There we go. Haha, I can see y'all now, and I can see my notes. So obviously reversed, right? Dissatisfaction, not seeing, you know, the magic or the joy, you know, within your life, or, you know, in the situation, you know, whatever it is. You know, you could feel like you're an outsider in your own family. Been there. You know, or your coven, being used as a scapegoat, you know, things like that if the card is reversed. So, which I've experienced all of that, sadly, unfortunately, with family, right? Hence why I don't talk to those family members anymore. So, aw, thanks, buddy. Tell Daddy I said thank you. Yeah. Close my door, Bubby, please. Lucius. My apologies, guys. Lucius, can you close my door, please? I am. Can you close my door? Thanks, Cece. What? I said thank you, Cece.
You're welcome.
That's my youngest daughter. My husband just brought my dinner. So now I'll do the court cards for the cups. Court cards. So the court cards are talking about the people involved in the situation. So like the page is, oops, my apologies. The page is like the child, the kid. The knight is the teenager. The queen is the mother. The king is the father. So in some decks, though, before I forget, actually, they could be referred to something else, which I do have a deck here that does do this. So like the page, it could be also called the maiden, the daughter, or the princess. I have one in here that is the daughter, or is it the princess? I can't remember now. And my daughter has one that's different. That's called one of the other ones. The knight could be referred to, or also called the warrior, the son, seeker, or prince. The queen could be also referred to as the mother, matriarch, or priestess. And then the king, father, priest, shaman, or guardian. So it just depends on the deck that you have. It may not say, sorry, my mosquito bite was itchy. It may not be like the traditional page, knight, queen, king. You know, it could be, you know, the maiden or the daughter, or, you know, the father or the shaman. You know what I mean? It just depends on the card. So the court cards govern everything out of the heart chakra. You know, love, emotions, imagination, creativity. So the page of cups, the child, is, you know, emotions not yet balanced, not yet controlled. The fish, because the page of cups, there's a fish in the card usually, or some type of a fish, or dolphin, or mermaid, something like that. It can represent fertility, newness, and new feelings, right? The Knight of Cups is an active card, you know, active period, about to move and act on, you know, whatever, you know, this person is feeling in that heart chakra, you know. Take your time, don't spill the cup. So i.e. don't rush into things. You know, observe, like take your time, kind of take it in, you know, look, like actually look at, you know, the situation or whatever it is, you know, before you kind of leap, you know, because if you move too fast, you're going to spill the cup, right? You know, Knight is like a shining armor, you know, walking into your life, someone who is creative, passionate, you know, and that acts on it, you know. So it could also mean like someone positive, you know, like a knight in shining armor, or coming into your life, and, you know, it's gonna have all those ticks of, you know, what you're looking for, you know, in a person. And they're actually gonna act on, you know, those things that you're looking for, you know what I mean? Like if you're looking for somebody that's, you know, like spontaneous and romantic and all of those things, well, that person is gonna have that, and they're also gonna act on it, and they're gonna show you it, you know what I mean? Queen of Cups, calm, nurturing, motherly, mothering, you know, it's a soft, you know, measured way. You know, they take a softer approach, you know, of the situation, or, you know, whatever it is, right? You know, it's more controlled. You know, it's more loving, more sensitive, you know, and they've mastered their emotions. So they don't let their emotions speak first and kind of run wild. You know, they have control over it. Therefore, you know what I mean? They're more mature about it, you know? And then we have the King of Cups, you know, still controlled, you know, still control, you know, and he's running his kingdom, right? With all the emotions going on, it shows you that you can do and make it, you know, master of his own ship. The copingness of, or sorry, the choppiness of the water, you know, is your emotions that you went through in your life, reflection of his emotions in his life, acknowledgement and holding dominion over him. The level of, the element of level of self-reflection, you know, and him knowing who he is, where he is, where he is not perfect, but, you know, not perfect because his water is, you know, choppy. But it doesn't mean, you know, that he hasn't mastered himself, and that, you know, isn't his own ship behind him. So they're talking about, because there's a ship in the card, right? You know, so basically, when you look at the card, on one side of the deck, the water is very choppy, and on the other side, it's like, it's smooth, you know, like smooth sailing, right? So it's kind of talking about his past emotions, you know, and acknowledging that, you know, he had a choppy past, and, you know, filled with all different kinds of emotions and things like that. But just because you went through all of that, trust me, I speak from experience, it doesn't mean that you can't move forward, even though you had all that choppiness around you. Do you know what I mean? So this was for the Suit of Cups. I'm going to pause the video and eat my dinner so it doesn't get cold. And then we will move on to the next suit, which is the Wands. All right, guys, so I will see you in a bit. Blessed be.